Hello, I'm here with not one, but two Kiev 88s, and spoiler alert, neither of them work. So basically this is going to be my review of the Kiev 88, which honestly at first I really dug these. I have never shot with a Hasselblad before, but I figured, this would be a cheaper alternative. So basically over here you got your winding knob, and you got a good amount, you actually have a really good amount of shutter speeds, and for a film camera, 1/1000th of a second is actually pretty good. And for medium format, these lenses are the equivalent of 50 millimeters, which is nice. They're 2.8, which is honestly a little too wide for these. It's actually pretty hard to focus. Maybe it's just my eyes, but I'm not sure. This one here is 88cc. I don't know what the difference is. And it also says Kiev USA. Maybe this was made in the USA. Maybe this cheesy lever makes it a CC. Honestly, there's not a huge difference if you wanted to get into these. To give you an example of what this camera can do, here's one of my shots. This is a model named Natasha, and I'm going to show you my setup. I actually shot this with a couple of softboxes, and I used the PC Sync cord to trigger the flashes. And this was a little wide. Obviously, you can see the background and stuff like that, but I still think it's an interesting shot. This next shot was a model named Deborah, and this was just in afternoon, kind of late afternoon light. I had her turn towards the sun. Since she had sunglasses on, she wouldn't be squinting. And there's a little bush behind her, and I think I overexposed a little bit, but still, I think it's got some attitude. I think this is a pretty good shot. So I was pretty excited for this one for the prison finder. It's actually really good, and it's actually gets the camera up a little higher. So I'm going to show you these shots. This is actually a model named Sadie, and she actually wasn't even that tall, but I had to get so high up without this prison finder. With the waist level finder, in order to not be shooting up at her, I had to be on basically an apple box. Which could be a problem in certain situations. I was happy to shoot with this. I actually only shot like one time with this before it broke. I guess I'll tell you my breaking story. I ended up modifying a Instax Fujifilm camera right here. So basically I took a Dremel to this and cut out the entire lens, and then I modified it to actually go onto the back, almost like a digital back. So I could actually shoot Polaroids with it, which is pretty cool. In my book, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I had this on a shoot. I actually took some shots. These are the last shots I ever took with it. Here's a picture of them now. And I was using some strobes, some colored gels, and the cool thing I thought about this was if I dialed in my settings and plugged my trigger into this, whatever I was shooting would go right through onto the Instax. I was like, oh, that's freaking cool. Anyway, so I shot those two images, and then I'm trying to remember exactly, but I think it was probably harder than that. I don't super baby my gear. I usually have faith that it's strong enough to withstand certain things. I put it down too hard, and it was done. This thing was toast. And I don't think it had to do with the back, because honestly there isn't anything that would interfere with the mechanism, but thing is just locked up. And I took it to my local camera repair store, which they're usually really good over there. They know how to fix like anything. I walked in and said, hey, I got this, what can you do for me? Basically the guy that works there, he was like, I'll take a look at them, and within a day he was like, there's nothing I can do. This is what they do, basically. So I can take a shot like with a sliver. It's a sliver camera. Basically, this curtain is a done deal. It's a shame. I really did like shooting with this, but I can't recommend something that breaks when you lightly put it down. I swear I didn't throw this thing. I was gonna do one of my challenges with this, but I realized that this was too easy to shoot with. So this was kind of a review more than anything. So yeah, feel free to comment down below of if you think I mistreat my gear, and I don't know, any comments on trying to fix things. I'm pretty handy, but the intricacies of this, I'm sure there's some spring in here that's just like unwound or something, I don't know. But I know people really like them for their cheapness, but just so you know, they're cheap. That's pretty much my review of the Kiev 88. Thanks for watching.